In February 2019, Florida hip-hop artist Melly was arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. Police alleged that he and another rapper, Bortlin, killed 2 of their friends and staged the crime scene to look like a drive-by shooting. In June 2023, Melly appeared in court in Florida, asserting his innocence on all counts. The trial has been long and complex, and if he is found guilty of first-degree murder, Melly could face the death penalty. Nevertheless, fans of the artist remain hopeful, as the internet is full of memes about Melly, even from his court appearances.
You know, it's 12 o'clock. Let's take our lunch and recess. Don't discuss the case. Don't film any opinion about the case. Don't allow.
Yeah, boy.
This serious criminal case began just as Melly's career, whose real name is Jamel Demons, was on the rise. Just a month before his arrest, the 19-year-old musician from the small town of Gifford in South Florida had released a mixtape titled We All Shine, featuring Kanye West. His biggest hit, the Dog 2017 single Murder on My Mind, had just achieved gold status. By January 2022, the song had gone multi-platinum 6 times. Now, however, he faces the possibility of execution. In this video, we will explore how Melly, who is now 25, rose from posting freestyles on SoundCloud and working with Kanye West and Young Thug to being on trial for allegedly murdering his friends, and eventually lost everything. So, let's get started. Melly was born on May 1st, 1999. His mother was 14 years old when she became pregnant with him, as she mentioned in a documentary about Melly, released in December 2018. When she gave birth, she was in the 9th grade.
I was 14 when I got pregnant with him, and I had him in my 9th grade year. He was born, and then we lived in these apartments called Briarwood with my mom for a little while. Then we moved in the low end of Gifford, which is like real poor, but that's what she could afford at the time. She was trying to raise me, and then I had a baby, and we were trying to raise that baby, and then I started working at Dunkin' Donuts. I was terrified.
Interestingly, Melly's mother often appears in various media. She managed to leverage the tragic situation of her son's arrest to her advantage, even profiting from it. Here's what she said about her OnlyFans account.
Why did you decide to break the internet the other day? You're saying that you're Ynw Melly's mom and you're about to hit OnlyFans.
Why not? You make money while you sleep, and you know, I turned 40 this year. Why not do something crazy?
Did you start it yet, though?
What, my OnlyFans? Yeah.
How much you made the first day? I just need to know the first day.
The first day was pretty epic. It was pretty epic.
Give me a ballpark figure.
Like 40-ish, 50.
One day?
Day one.
Bitch, I'm getting an OnlyFans. Fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. 40,000?
Returning to Melly, Jamel was interested in music from a young age. In interviews and in the documentary, he describes his early admiration for Chris Brown and Michael Jackson. He also recalls his early fascination with firearms, mentioning that he found a revolver under his uncle's couch in 4th grade and carried it everywhere, including to school.
Boom, I got dye in my head, pretty smile, know what I'm saying? Always clean, fresh, look innocent. I always kept that innocent look, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want Melly the Menace to be revealed at that time, you know what I'm saying? So I always dressed like this, but the whole time I'm in school, every day, I got my pistol on me in my lunchbox. Sometimes I bring 2 pistols, you know what I'm saying? And you would never suspect it.
On October 19th, 2015, Melly had his first run-in with the law, which would become a recurring theme in his media portrayal. According to a local newspaper, the 16-year-old was charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault and 1 count of firing a weapon in a public place. Reports state he fired at 3 other students near their school. It seems he used the very gun he always carried with him. After this incident, as Melly would later recount, he was inspired to write Murder on My Mind. He described how the song's most memorable part came to him in a dream.
I literally woke up in the jail cell and I was like, wake up in the morning, I got murder on my mind. And the bitch was like, get up, time to get up. Like, yeah, fuck that song anyway, that shit ass. I slid it for my cousin, and he was like, hell yeah, that boy said he got murder on his mind, nigga. I'm thinking he just dick riding, so I'm like, man, nigga, just shut the fuck up. I got cool with one nigga named Antonio Bland. Like, he used to say he only listened to Kodak and Scotty Kane. I ain't writing nothing like them, so I'm like, yeah, he probably ain't gonna fuck with my shit. But I fuck with him, so I was like, man, fuck it. Showed the Murder on My Mind. He was like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You my favorite rapper now.
On March 4th, 2017, Melly released the hit Murder on My Mind, a haunting piano-backed ballad about crime with a startling level of detail. He uploaded the track to SoundCloud. He had been posting freestyle drafts on SoundCloud under his real name since he was around 15, but those tracks hadn't gained much attention. The Ynw group, which is likely an acronym for Young New Wave, included his longtime friends Anthony Williams, Sack Chaser, Christopher Thomas, Juvie, and Cortland Henry, Bortlin. On May 1st, 2017, Melly's legal troubles continued. Although details are unclear, on April 15th, 2017, he posted on social media that he was on house arrest. Then, on his 18th birthday on May 1st, he wrote, "Apologies to all my fans. I'll be locked up for 6 months. Got sentenced on my 18th birthday, May 1st, 2017, because of negative music. Just know, I did it for you. I'll be back soon." He added on June 23rd, "Turning myself in today." In an interview shortly before his 2019 arrest, Melly told Billboard that prosecutors used his song Murder on My Mind against him. He said, "Basically, I was on probation in 2017. Now I'm free. I dropped Murder on My Mind. It came out about 7 months ago, but I kept ending up in jail. I probably went to jail at least 6 or 7 times, and it was all for some minor stuff." On December 25th, 2017, Melly's hip-hop career continued to thrive despite his legal issues. He signed with a manager and released the Collect Call EP on Christmas 2017, featuring Lil Beep.
Collect Call EP! Bitch, you know it's Melly, baby, diamond shining on me like the 80s.
By January 7th, 2018, Murder on My Mind had garnered over 1 million views on YouTube. On February 25th, 2018, Melly was released from jail again. Soon after, he moved to Miami, as mentioned in the documentary and various interviews. During this time, Melly performed at sold-out shows, and his new video Melly the Menace debuted on World Star Hip Hop. Another popular song of his, Virtual, Blue Balenciagas, premiered on World Star in April.
We gon' pull up with them sticks and hop out with them choppers. Walking out the tent.
On June 30th, 2018, Melly was back in jail. According to police records, he was arrested in Lee County, Florida on June 30th, 2018 for 1 count of weapon possession by a convicted felon and 1 count of possession of less than 20 grams of a controlled substance. His associate, rapper Bortlin, was also arrested. According to court records available on Pitchfork, the district attorney's office ultimately determined there was insufficient evidence to support the weapon charge, downgrading it to a misdemeanor. On August 3rd, 2018, Melly released his debut mixtape album, Ynw, which included Murder on My Mind and a counterpart song, Mind on My Murder, as well as Virtual Blue Balenciagas, a tribute to his mother, Mama Cry, and Slang That Iron, which interpolates a Chris Brown track.
Sky is getting red, body getting cold.
Later that month, he told Billboard he was working on a whole project of songs with Detroit rapper T Grizzly. Here's what came of it. Some clips amassed over 100 million views.
Hanging off the Ruger, and I got a clip full of shooter.
On October 26, 2018, Melly's friends and fellow rappers Juvie and Sack Chaser were shot and killed. Police in Miramar, Florida, reported that the 2 men were last seen around 3 a.m. in Fort Lauderdale and were admitted to Memorial Hospital Miramar around 4:35 a.m. with multiple gunshot wounds. A police spokesperson said they were already deceased when doctors examined them. Melly mourned them on his social media for a long time. An interesting fact: shortly before this tragic incident, a host in an interview accidentally referred to Juvie and Sack Chaser as Melly's deceased friends. The rapper reacted calmly, unaware of what lay ahead.
So what you got tattooed on your face? Tell me about it a little bit.
You know, I got Sack Chase right here. That's my brother. That's my twin.
Okay.
And I got Juvie.
Juvie?
Yeah, that's my brother.
Just a lot of your friends who passed?
Yeah. Nah, them my niggas right there.
Oh, okay.
My brothers right there.
My bad. I wouldn't get none of my friends tattooed on my face until they died.
Yeah,
I'm not a
shit-
good friend like you are,
shit for
apparently.
life. Nah, this shit for life.
On December 4th, 2018, the official documentary about Melly was released on YouTube. We've shown clips from it several times. Juvie and Sack Chaser play prominent roles in it. At the end of the 21-minute video, text appears on the screen. 4 days after the completion of this film, Melly and his friends were targeted in a shooting in Miami, Florida. Juvie and Sack Chaser were killed. The documentary also shows Melly and his mother planning to move from Florida to Atlanta. On the same day, Melly posted a photo with Kanye West. Rumors circulated that they were recording together in Miami for Kanye's album Yandi, which was delayed multiple times. This album never saw release, with Kanye opting instead to release Jesus is King in 2019, which did not feature Melly. On December 12th, 2018, Genius published a video on YouTube in which Melly explains the lyrics of his song Murder on My Mind. Around the 440 mark, he says, "I'm a killer, a girl killer." He then adds, "I kill the beat. I don't kill a people." Pausing on the phrase, "I don't kill people," Melly looks directly into the camera, a moment that would later go viral.
Now Angela fucked on camera. Bitch, I'm a murderer. Yes, yes, I'm a pussy murderer. I murdered a vagina and I murdered a bee. I am not no human murderer.
On January 3, 2019, Melly was rearrested in Lee County related to charges from June 2018. In his jail photo, he is seen smiling. According to court records, Melly pleaded guilty to minor charges of possessing drug-related paraphernalia and less than 20 grams of the substance itself. The court found him guilty, factoring in time already served. On January 18, 2019, Melly released We All Shine, his second mixtape. Kanye West sings with Melly on the single Mixed Personalities and appears in the music video, which has amassed over 170 million views, demonstrating Melly's continued career growth.
Say you want someone. Say you want.
On January 25, 2019, Melly was released from the Lee County Jail, according to police reports. A week later, in a Billboard interview, Melly said of Sack Chaser and Juvie, "They were my brothers, from day one." When asked if he was also a target, he replied, "No, I can't talk about that." He also mentioned recording about 6 songs with Young Thug and working on a project with Juice WRLD, as well as completing a project with T Grizzly. On February 12, 2019, in another interview, Melly discussed collaborating with Kanye West, stating, "He heard my music in Paris. He invited me to Los Angeles and I showed him my music." Melly also claimed that West intended to name Yeezy shoes after him, the Mellys. On February 13, 2019, Melly was arrested on murder charges. Police alleged that he shot Sack Chaser and Juvie with Cortland Henry, also known as rapper Bortlin, allegedly staging the scene as a drive-by shooting. According to Florida law, Melly faced life imprisonment or the death penalty. He initially posted about his innocence on social media, but later deleted it. In open court documents, investigators provided additional details of the accusations against Melly, citing phone records that allegedly place Melly at the crime scene, forensic reports, and details from the scene that purportedly show Melly shot Sack Chaser and Juvie from inside the car. Police claimed that the drive-by bullets on the car exterior were staged to mislead the investigation. The investigation alleged that the killers drove around with the bodies in the car for an extended period to buy time and plan a cover story. Bortlin was initially detained, and his statements conflicted with crime scene findings. On February 13th, Melly turned himself in. The double murder charges weren't the only legal troubles Melly faced. Both Melly and Bortlin were also considered suspects in the 2017 murder of Indian River County Sheriff's Deputy Gary Chambliss. According to Vero News, citing police insiders, Melly and Bortlin were allegedly at the scene of the incident when Chambliss was killed by a stray bullet, possibly fired from a weapon belonging to either Melly or Bortlin. Melly quickly proclaimed his innocence. In April, Florida prosecutors filed documents announcing their intent to pursue the death penalty for Melly. In August of the same year, Melly's 12-year-old brother, B Slime, released a single titled Free Melly. The brothers later collaborated on tracks Dying For You, One Step, and Really Be Slime. On November 22, 2019, Melly released his new album, Melly vs. Melvin, which later achieved gold status. The album spent 31 weeks on the Billboard 200 chart, debuting at number 8 on December 7, 2019. 2020. News surfaced that Melly had contracted COVID-19 while imprisoned in Florida. His team requested a temporary release, as was granted for Tekashi, but the judge denied it. In May of that year, Bortlin, who was arrested with Melly in 2019 on double murder charges, received permission for house arrest. Later, Bortlin released a new single and music video, Been Through. It was his first release since his restricted release and only his second solo track since 2018's Came From. The song and video reference his imprisonment and call for his friend's release.
All the things that I done seen and all the things that I done been through. Young niggas, we the truth.
On October 23, 2020, family members of the slain rappers Sack Chaser and Juvie filed a new lawsuit against Melly and Bortlin. The complaint filed on behalf of Sack Chaser's relatives stated that the murder followed tension in the group over the prospect of substantial sums of money and questions of how this money should be divided. Lawyers representing Sack Chaser's family alleged when the people who are to share in the alleged money decrease, those who receive it gain more. This provided a possible motive in the theory that Melly killed his friends. Many online speculated that Melly's increasing earnings led to jealousy among other members, who borrowed large sums from him but failed to repay, often teasing Melly and accusing him of arrogance. Reportedly, Melly eventually snapped and decided to eliminate his friends. Throughout this time, Melly remained in custody. In May 2020, Melly's mother and girlfriend organized a party with strippers across from the rapper's jail cell. One of the dancers shared a video congratulating Melly on his birthday and mentioning that someone had previously leaked the video. In another clip, the dancer explained that Melly's mother and girlfriend had invited her. The party took place in a parking lot facing the Broward County Jail, with the jail's walls and bars visible in the background. Melly's mother also appeared in the video wearing an orange outfit.
It's his birthday. He lit. He right there in the window. Free Melvin!
In April 2021, rapper Bortlin was re-arrested for violating the terms of his house arrest by visiting a strip club, which was prohibited. He was released 4 months later. In August 2021, Melly released another album, Just a Matter of Slime, featuring Young Thug, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Baby, Lil Durk, Future, Kodak Black, T Grizzly, and others. The album debuted at number 11 on the Billboard 200 and stayed on the chart for 3 weeks.
Been thinking since legit, every Glock got a dick. A laser on my
In September 2021, Complex and Spotify launched the podcast Infamous, The Story of Melly, hosted by rapper Ace Hood. In July 2022, it was publicly announced that Melly was no longer facing the death penalty. However, the prosecution continued to seek the death sentence in Melly's case. In the fall of 2022, the Broward County Appeals Court allowed the prosecution to once again pursue the death penalty for Melly. In the summer of 2023, the trial began. On the last day of the first week, jurors heard testimony from Felicia Holmes, a nurse whose daughter Mariah Hamilton was reportedly dating Melly when his 2 friends were killed in 2018. The defense objected to Holmes's questioning, claiming the prosecution provided inadmissible evidence. The judge criticized the prosecution's actions, but allowed the trial to continue. During the trial, a video surfaced showing Melly in an interrogation room, seemingly arguing and fighting with a ghost, possibly his alter ego Melvin. The recording was old. Melly had a different hairstyle in the summer of 2023, but many speculated that he might be attempting to feign mental illness as a defense. On the 10th day of the trial, the prosecution presented evidence from a detective sergeant supporting their theory that the victims couldn't have been killed by shots from a passing vehicle. Instead, they were shot from inside the car. A forensic expert stated that Sakchazer was shot several times after a fatal shot to the back of his head. Over a month after the start of the trial, the prosecution completed its presentation of evidence against Melly. Witnesses analyzed and discussed footage from the night of Sakchazer and Juvie's deaths, and prosecutors introduced evidence, including a series of messages allegedly sent by Melly in an attempt to prove that a phone found at the crime scene belonged to him. Among the witnesses were people close to Melly, including Felicia Holmes and Trevian Gless, a friend and musical collaborator who was in the recording studio with the group hours before Sakchazer and Juvie were killed. Other witnesses included Jorge Bello, a firearms expert from the Broward Sheriff's Office, and lead investigator Detective Mark Moretti. Detective Moretti, who testified for over a week, was considered a key witness for the prosecution, and Melly's defense worked to cast doubt on his competence. The defense questioned Moretti's qualifications in areas such as analyzing cell phone location data. The defense, in turn, called only one witness, Melly's friend, Adrian Green. In the absence of the jury, Melly informed the judge that he would not testify in his own defense. After 3 days of deliberations, the jury could not reach a unanimous verdict on Melly's case, resulting in a mistrial. Despite this, county prosecutors continued to seek the death penalty and called for a retrial with a new jury. Meanwhile, numerous bloggers attempted to analyze who might be responsible for the crime. Online, people examined photos and details of the incident, suggesting theories on how Melly might avoid punishment.
Davis said he got into a red car with Tavion Glass. Melly and the others got into a black Jeep. He then said he fell asleep on the way home and he woke up when they pulled over, and Melly got out of the black Jeep and into the red car. And once they got home, they all went to bed. He said that they were woken up by the news that Sakchazer and Juvie had been shot, and they all started crying.
This young man crying?
Yes.
Are you sure of that?
Positive.
Davis said that they then went to Fredo Bang's house, where Ynw Bortland came to meet them after dropping off Juvie and Sakchazer at the hospital. Davis testified that Bortland said it was a drive-by shooting. Ynw Juvie's mom reacted to the testimony on Facebook.
In the summer of 2023, Melly's mother's lawyer filed a complaint against the chief prosecutor, alleging that Detective Moretti was under investigation for an alleged excessive force incident involving a potential witness in Melly's case. The complaint also alleged that the detective conducted an unauthorized search to obtain Melly's mother's phone. The situation further escalated when Bortlin was rearrested on a warrant accusing him of witness tampering. On October 12, 2023, the judge removed former Chief Prosecutor Kristen Bradley from the case. Melly's defense team had requested Bradley's removal and the disqualification of the entire Broward County District Attorney's Office after Assistant State Attorney Michelle Boutros testified that she overheard Detective Moretti asking a deputy sheriff to lie about being present during the contested phone seizure. Prosecutors argued that the statement was made in jest. Shortly after this, lead prosecutor Alexandra Bakel, who had previously worked on the Tentacion murder case, filed 7 new charges against Melly as jury selection began. The new charges included allegations of criminal gang leadership, with speculation that Melly might be tried under RICO laws. Regardless, he remains in custody. As of now, Melly has been behind bars for nearly 5 years, with no final decision in his case. In the worst-case scenario, he faces the death penalty, though a long sentence, potentially life imprisonment, also looms as a possibility. Melly was imprisoned at the height of his popularity and had the potential to become as successful as Drake, judging by the views of his music videos and streams of his tracks. Now, success feels out of reach as his primary focus is securing freedom, a goal that seems to be slipping further away with each passing day. What do you think about Melly and this whole case? Share your opinions in the comments, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.